Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I need some more time to fix everything. Mhm. And let's. Mhm. I think it should be somewhere here. And then you do this. I think it's this. Mhm. I think we are live. Let me just check. Oh, I forgot to change this. I forgot to change something, but how do I fix it? How can I fix it now? I'm not sure at all. Okay, so I will have my phone in front of me that I can see and I can read your messages. Uh, yes, some events, World Cup, uh, Andreikin, Jiner match, some other tournaments. I would like to start with FIDE World Cup 2025. We know that only eight players left. Sindarov Martinez, VE Arjun Rigaisi, Sam Schenkel and Andrei Yesipenko. Noderbek Yakuboev is playing Alexander Donchenko. We have result in Yakuboev Donchenko. Noderbek won with the white pieces, and all three remaining games ended in a draw. Mm, Yes, Arjun was, as always, well prepared, and he came up with uh, some ideas in the opening and managed to equalize the game. Yes, Vei did not manage to pose much problems, and game ended in a draw. Uh, yes, I think e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4. Knight f6, short castle, bishop e7, rook e1. White is ready to capture on c6 and then knight takes e5. So short castle ideas are not working. b5, bishop b3, d6. Instead of going short castle, Arjun went d6. c3, short castle, h3. And now bishop e6. I remember in 2023, Kirill Alexeyenko played this move against me, and after some d4, bishop b3, maybe queen b3, maybe a takes b, I offered him a draw, and Kirill um, agreed. Yes, bishop e6, f takes c is possible. D4, bishop b3. Another move is to go a takes b, queen takes b3, h6. I don't think white was really threatening bishop g5, and black in this way tries to stop. But anyway, h6, a4, queen d7. Yes, no doubts, all this was Arjun's prep. He knew. A takes b, a takes b, rook a8, rook a8, queen takes b5, knight d4. Yes, if you go queen d7, I have intermezzo or in between move knight takes f3. So takes, e takes d, queen d7, knight d7, c takes d, and here computer gives a small advantage Very little advantage for white, but of course nothing. Bishop f6. If you move the knight, then you are losing your pawn on d4. Yeah, let's say this. Bishop takes d4. We go knight b. Yes, bishop b6 is also okay. Bishop e3 and now rook b8. Yes, once again, it is obvious that Arjun knew all this because they started with 1 hour 30 minutes and now he has 1 hour 33 minutes. Why not rook e2? You go rook b4, rook d2. Yes, rook e2, rook b4. Yes, if I go knight c3, you will take bishop d4, knight d5, rook b2. If I go knight a3, you don't take bishop d4, I guess, because of knight c2 wins, but you go some knight b6. And some. And if I play rook d2, you go c5. Yes, d takes c, you take with the knight. Yes, I don't have chance to get. But what if I try f3? Yes, rook b3. Hello. Yes, rook b2, rook b8, knight d2, and now rook takes b2, rook c1, bishop takes d4. Yes, some other moves are also there. I'm sure that after knight f3, yes, knight f3, c5, another equal position. So this takes, and here very soon players agreed in a draw. Yes, Martinez drew with the black pieces without facing much difficulties. So d4, d5, c4, d takes c, knight f3, knight f6, e3, e6, bishop c4, c5. Short castle, bishop e7. Yes, here knight bd7, knight c6, and a6 are possible moves. Bishop e7, d takes c, queen d1, rook d1, bishop c5. Knight c3, short castle, bishop e2, knight c6, a3, b6, b4, bishop e7. Yes. Rook d8. Playable endgame, maybe very, very tiny better for white, but black is having super solid position, like this. And Martinez plays this type of positions very good. Yes, rook d8, I have h takes g. Here computer says knight d4, knight c7, f4. Computer does not like knight b5, knight b5, knight b5. So it was f4, a5, creating some counterplay. Yes, please, dear viewers, let me know if the video quality and sound is okay. B takes a, rook takes a5, knight c2, king e8. Again, computer says maybe knight b5 takes, knight takes b5. Let's say you go this, I capture. Bishop b6 is not working, of course. I take here, you attack my knight. I go bishop takes b6, you go bishop takes b5. Rook d8, bishop d8, bishop a5, drone endgame. Yes, this is not serious. This is not serious. Rook d8, bishop d8. Game ends in a draw, and here, luckily, no, not luckily, because I have knight b7 and knight c6. So it was knight c2, a4, bishop c5, knight b5, f6, takes, this, knight f7. f5 would have been better. And now knight g4, f5. And Sindarov did not capture this pawn on h6, but I'm not sure. No doubt Martinez saw this. And you go g4, I go king g7. You go g5, but how are you going to... No, this is not that obvious. Bishop c8. So it was knight e5, king d8, knight d3, knight back, bishop takes. And here Sindarov offered the draw. Yes, we have another draw in Sam Shankland, Andrei Yesipenko. Yes, previous round Sam Shankland won in tie breaks against Dubov, and Andrei Yesipenko won in tie breaks against Alexei Grebnev. Okay, bishop g5, bishop b4, e3, this takes, queen a4, and knight e2. I don't remember this setup. Yes, queen a4 is very typical, forcing opponent to get the knight on c6 and then knight e2, and then completing your development, but not in this way. Short castle rook c1, rook d8, knight f4, takes, knight e7. If you go rook c7, probably knight c6 is working, right? Yes, you go knight c6 and you don't let rook go back, and slowly maybe you can even trap this rook on c7. So bishop d3, c6, bishop knight f5, not bishop f5. First Andrei tries to get the knight on d6, and now knight d6, bishop f5, bishop f1, g5, knight d3, king g7. Wow, very ambitious play by Andrei. Knight c5, h5, a4, h4, h3, a5, b4 takes, rook b3, and now knight is back. c6 is hanging, and here rook a4 is not. So bishop takes d3, bishop d3, knight e4, takes, and c4, c5. Yes, if not c5, I'm sure black would face some difficulties. And queen f4, not even going for... yes, queen d4 is not possible. Rook d4, I have rook g5 at least. Or maybe some queen h5 even. Yes, this rook c3, rook d6, g3 takes. Of course, black is having slightly exposed king side, but not much pieces left, and white isn't having enough coordinated pieces. f6, rook g4, and having ideas to maybe take on g5 or go queen c7, but Andrei found this, and then takes, rook takes a4, and players agreed in a draw. And Noderbeck won this very important game with the white pieces against Alexander Donchenko. The entire tournament he was playing Grunfeld, and very successfully against Matthias Blubaum, against Le Quang, and maybe even in some other matches. I think against Anton David as well. So c4, g6, f3. Different moves are possible. d5, e6. Of course, bishop g7, c5, d5, d6, c4, bishop g7, knight e2. Hello, dear wife. How are you doing? Is everything okay? Yes, e6, knight c3. I'm not even sure that this was some special prep. Maybe, Noderbeck knew, mm, because, he's spending some minutes. He takes this, he takes d, a6, with ideas to go b5, a4 stopping, knight h5, queen e2. Yes, if queen h4, I guess g3, knight g3, queen f2. What's the idea? Or queen f2? No, g3, knight g3, queen f2 is also probably working. So it was bishop d4. Yes, threatening some check. G3, knight g3, and queen f2 ideas are not there. G4. And now computer says you just go knight g7 back with very complicated position. It was check. King d1, knight f6. Maybe this was the inaccuracy and mistake by Alexander Donchenko. King c2. Somehow my king on c2 is well placed. Knight d7. Bishop f4, attacking the pawn. Bishop e3. Attacking on f3, knight d2, again queen h4, I guess just to stop h4, h5. Bishop f4, and now bishop g3, and now takes. Yeah, somehow white is developing all pieces, and black does not play with all his pieces. h4, and now rook a7. I think with the idea is maybe to go b6 or maybe b5. b5 takes this, bishop takes e5. Wow, nice c4. Takes, knight e5, d takes c, queen e3, threatening queen c5. And now before, not even going queen c5 because of queen h2, I guess, or what's the problem with this move? What am I missing? Queen d8, b4. Now, this is much stronger, of course. C takes b, queen b6, rook b4, queen c5. Both pieces are under attack. Bishop on c8 and rook on b4. So this b takes c, rook b4, c6. And now bishop e2, d6, d7. Yes, queen c5 would have been stronger than c captures, but this is also completely winning, no doubts. And rook g6, f takes g, queen d8. And now check, rook g4. Yes, Noderberg did not have much time, but he doesn't need. Position is completely winning, and here we see that after knight f8, which is the only move, position is completely lost. Yes, no doubts tomorrow Arjun Erigaisi with the white pieces will try. Martinez with the white pieces, yes, I think he will try. Yes, and of course Andrei Yesipenko as well. And of course, Alexander Donchenko does not have any other choice. And now I would like to go and talk about Dmitry Andreikin, Zhu Jiner match. Yes, we are here. So we have a friendly match, but of course FIDE rated Zhu Jiner against Dmitry Andreikin. Dmitry Andreikin is 27-10 rated. Zhu Jiner is 25-79, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Andreikin should be close to top 30. And Zhu Jiner is the second highest rated woman player. First game of the match ended in a draw. Andreikin had white pieces. He did not manage to get anything. Even he had some problems with the white pieces. Second game of the match, Zhu Jiner, she was playing Yes, yes, yes. Mm. Second game with the white pieces, Jiner had very, very promising position. At some point, she was even close to close for decisive advantage, but very unfortunately for her, she did not go for that line, and eventually, slowly started making some small mistakes, inaccuracies, and then lost second game. And I would like to speak about today's game. Just very quickly, we can see Ragozin with queen b3. Here a5 is very much possible, c5 d takes c. My very first question is why not knight c6? As much as I know, after knight c6, black does not face much problems. But of course, I remember Dmitry Andreikin won against Gukesh. It was 2024 European Club Cup with the white pieces. Andreikin played the same opening. Yes, knight a6, a3, bishop takes. This is also a possible line. Yes, thank you very much for. Hello, good evening. And my very first question, I think here in this position you shouldn't go bishop d7, which is also possible, but I remember this knight c5 before knight b3, rook b1, knight c1, takes c4, and then how do you react there? Hello, hello, good evening. Uh, how did you play? How, because I checked your first, all the games I checked, round one, round two, uh, and you had completely winning position in round two. And yes, it was very interesting game also against Vedant. Second game against uh, maybe against Vietnamese player, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Engine at some point was showing some advantage. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it was Catalan with early knight c3. Wow, great, great, great! Congrats against. Yes, I will check. I will check the games. Yes, my first point is, if I'm not mistaken, here knight c5 is also possible, because if white manages, of course, to consolidate the position, getting f3, e4, moving the knight away, then some advantage for white because of the bishops. Uh, but my point was, here we can see completely winning position for Dmitry Andreikin. He pushed d5. Well, he's threatening some e6. He's also threatening some maybe king e6 ideas, king f6 ideas. And yes, I fully understand Jiner going for knight takes e5 because if you don't take this pawn, then most likely white will make a queen. So knight takes e5, bishop e5, rook takes a3, and we know that rook bishop against rook, if nothing concrete is happening, then with the precise play, black should make a draw. But of course, here we see that your king is in back rank, and all my pieces are quite actively placed, and I'm having ideas to go king e6. Yes, king e6, I'm threatening rook a8 checkmate. Yes, if you go king d8 or king f8, anyway, checkmate is following. Rook d3, with the idea if I go rook a8, you block the check with rook d8. Yes. Takes. Black does not have any good moves, except, just staying and waiting. This check rook d8, rook a7. Uh, this is winning position. This is known position. This is winning position for white, and we can see that Dmitry Andreikin is having 5 minutes. Yes, Jiner as well, a little bit more than 5 minutes. No doubts previously, Andreikin and Jiner had some opportunity to, uh, maybe in some blitz games, in some rapid games, even in some classical games uh, to play similar positions. And no doubts that both of them knew how to win or how to defend. But somehow, under the pressure and having very limited time, Dmitry Andreikin went wrong, very surprisingly, because I was following live, and he even went wrong and allowed Jiner to, with the precise defensive ideas, to make a draw. Rook d2. Yes, this is very important move. The best square for the rook. First, if you are having defensive side, it's better you to go to place your rook on second, and then you go to the first, and then yes, third. So on third, uh, it's the worst for black. Second is the best, and first is like between. So the very first move is correct. Now let me just tell you that I'm not trying to say that Dmitry Andreikin doesn't know and he didn't know, or the same about Zhu Jiner. No doubts, no questions. They both knew quite well. But of course, this is maybe third, fourth hour of the game and time pressure. And you also understand how you are winning. You should just memorize how to win. And also, I should say that, after some time, after working with the stockfish, eventually I remembered. Yes, as I said, rook d3, no point for black to go rook d3, because rook is placed on third quite awkwardly. Later on, we will see. So rook d1. And now how do you win from this position? You go rook g7. Because Andreikin played rook e7, we will see that he got almost the same position, and later on Jiner went rook d2, and even Stockfish later on was showing equality. But very unfortunately for black, for Jiner, she did not play the strongest continuation, and she lost eventually. So how do you win? You go rook g7. What am I threatening? Yes, I'm threatening checkmate in 1. You don't have king d8, you have king f8, and you have rook f1. Let's say if you go king f8, here I'm winning in this way. I go rook h7. I'm threatening checkmate in 1. You go rook g1. And if rook h8, you go rook g8. And here I play this. Or any move like rook b7, rook c7. So I'm threatening checkmate in 1. You go king g8. I go check. I go rook h8. And then I go rook g8. And I win your rook on g1. So this you should play rook f1. And now I go bishop g3. Now I go bishop g3. So you cannot go king d8. You have king f8. You have rook f3. Yes. Let's say you go king f8. Now I'm playing a very important move, rook g4. I'm threatening bishop d6, king e8, rook g8 checkmate. So you are forced to go there. And now I go, yes, now I go this move, rook a4. I'm threatening checkmate in one. You have two moves, king f8 and rook d1. Let's say if you play king f8, yes, I just go bishop e5, and this is lost because king e8 you cannot play. I'm threatening rook a8 checkmate. You go king g8, I go rook h4, and you are getting checkmate. So once again, bishop g3, king f8, rook g4. You have here in this position, we have two moves, rook d1, and the other move is to go king f8. If this, I go bishop e5. I'm threatening checkmate on a8. King e8 does not work. With the rook, you cannot really help. And if you go king g8, of course, I'm playing rook h4, and you are getting checkmated. So in this position, you should try to go rook d1. But now I'm playing bishop h4. I'm threatening rook a8 checkmate, and I'm forcing you to go this. I'm playing bishop f6. So rook e1 check does not help. I'm always having bishop e5. You go this, and I'm playing rook h4. And again, you are getting checkmated, rook e1, bishop e5. So now let's go back, rook d1, rook g7. So we covered, yes, this, and now instead of king f8, if you try rook f3, which is the strongest. Yes, you go rook f3. I go bishop d6. I'm threatening rook g8 checkmate. You go check. I go bishop e5. And again, you are choosing. King d8 does not work. You have rook f3 and you have king f8. King f8, I just go rook h7 and you are getting checkmated because, as previously I mentioned, your rook on third is very awkwardly placed and you don't have rook g3 idea. So you are getting checkmated. So here after bishop e5, let's say you go rook f3. How do I win from this position? I go, this is important. This is slightly confusing, but I think we can manage. Yes, of course, I go this check. And now you should play king f8, because if you go king d8, I'm playing rook b7. And you are getting checkmated. King e8, king c8, rook b8 checkmate, rook c3 does not work. And rook b8 checkmate is coming. So you go there. I played rook a7, rook b7, rook c7, doesn't really matter. Which forces you to go king g8. I go rook g7 check, which forces you to go king f8, because if you go king h8, I can go rook g3 or rook f7. And now I play this rook g4. Ah, no, rook h7 does not. Rook h7, where exactly? Yes, here rook h7 does not help. Here, rook h7, I might go king c8. So you just go this. It is important to play this. No, wait. You should play king f8. Yes, you should play king f8. I'm playing. If you go rook h7, then king e8. So I play this, and then I go check, and then I go rook g4. You play king e8, and now I'm playing this bishop f4. I'm threatening rook g8 checkmate. You don't have king d8. If you go king f8, you are getting checkmated in this way. Yes, and this is the way you should win. Yes, but Andreikin first went rook e7, and here again, here this is I think you play rook h7. You threaten checkmate, and after rook g1, yes, you just go rook here. King e8, rook c8, king g8, rook c8, rook h8, and then rook g8, you are losing your rook, rook g6, bishop f6. But somehow Dmitry Andreikin did not see this. He played rook f7. And then this, rook f1, of course, and then rook d1, and we can see the same position. And he played rook g7, rook f2, rook e7, king d8, and rook b7, rook c2. And this is drawn position. This is drawn position. This is drawn position. Yes, she forgot. Oh, rook g2, king e6. Yes, really hard to say which move she forgot. Yes, this. Yes, but this. Then check. King f5. Yes. Okay. Now I would like to. Uh, yes, this tournament. Yes, we have. First of all, about players, participants. We can see that round robin tournament in Bangladesh. So 10 players. Yes, they played already 3 rounds. Yes, we see that one player is having 3 points. 2 players are having 2.5, 2.5. And then we see 4 players are having 1.5. One player is having 1 and 2 players aren't having any points. Honestly speaking, I'm not much familiar with this player. Yes, of course, Mohammad Fahad I know quite well. Uh, Vedant I know quite well. I heard about Manon, but I don't think we ever played or met each other. And then Nguyen, once again, I don't know this player as well, Grandmaster. Yes, we will check. And of course, uh, son of Mr. Rahman, Ziaur, a very respected grandmaster, very strong grandmaster. Yes, and I'm quite close with him. And then we see Abdisalimov, grandmaster from Uzbekistan. Once again, I don't know him, but Abu Sufyan, I have seen him. We didn't play, but uh, I know him. Okay, let's see today's games. What are we having? Okay, knight f3, knight f6, c4, g6, g3, bishop g7, and then knight c3, knight c6. I think here c5, d6, and some other moves are possible. Knight c6, d4, d6. We got King's Indian defense with g3, bishop g2. So d5, knight a5. And here, if I'm not mistaken, here b3 is possible. Yes, b3 is the main move. b3 is the main move. Yes, a6, bishop d7. Knight d5 does not work because I guess we just take and bishop d2, right? Yes, we just take and we go bishop d2, yes. Okay, it was knight d2, c6, short castle c takes d, c takes d, bishop d7. Yes, black is having ideas to go b5 before, maybe rook c8, knight b3. Knight takes b3. Yes, b5 is also possible. Yes, takes. Uh, and now, yes, a takes b, because queen b3, b5. Yes, very good reaction. If you go knight b5, then rook b8 finishes the game. h3, stopping some knight g4, I guess. Rook b8, always having ideas to go b4. And I think if I try a5, then knight b5 is working. Knight b5, a4, queen d3, bishop f5. I thought knight b5, rook b8, a4, and black does not have a6. Okay, rook b8, a3, queen c8, threatening here. King h2, queen c4, wow. Very classy move. If you take b takes c and then maybe even moving the bishop and then knight d7, knight c5, and white cannot really develop this bishop from c1. Okay, queen b4, a5, and if I'm taking then rook a8 or b4, rook a8, queen b6, b4. If I take rook, knight g4, yes, rook a8, queen b6, b4, or maybe even knight g4, bishop d4. So takes, very unpleasant endgame. Benko type position, yes. Rook c8, rook d2, knight d8. Another classy move, probably knight c7, knight a6, or maybe knight b5. Computer also suggests bishop e8, knight d7. Yes, interesting. So this rook c2, knight c7, bishop g5 attacking the pawn, and white overlooked this rook b2, rook takes b2, bishop c3, rook b1, bishop takes, and f6. Not the strongest, c3, bishop e7, knight b5. So f6 looks very smart. Bishop d2. Yes, knight b5, bishop takes a5, c3. Black is winning, but still maybe some small chances are there for white. e3, rook c1. So e3, c2. If you go rook c1, then knight a3, bishop d2, and now knight c3. Yes, what am I threatening? I'm not sure. Maybe knight e2. So it was this, now this, bishop a4. I'm ready to take this pawn on a3. I'm also having ideas, I guess, to go this. Bishop f1, takes. And now f5, king is coming, I guess. King g7, and then king f6, and then rook d3, yes. White is not controlling d3 square, and rook d3, rook d1. Okay, let's see the other game. Mohammad Fahad is playing against Grandmaster from Bangladesh. 2331. d4, d5, c4, c6. Let me remind you that very recently Mohammad Fahad Rahman, he played against Vasily Ivanchuk World Cup match. Yes, very unfortunately he lost 1.5. Okay, Slav defense, e3, knight f6, knight c3, e6, knight f3. This is possible. b6, short castle, bishop b7, b3 this, bishop b2. Yes, here I would recommend one game of, and especially one idea. Today I checked. Yes, and especially it was played by a young grandmaster from Poland, Simon Gumulars. Can we find that game? I guess we can. Just 1 second, dear friends. Somehow I don't see him, but yes, Simon Gumulars is here. He played, I guess he played maybe against Saric. Oh, wait, Ivan Saric started 0 out of 2. Wow. Wow, such a strong grandmaster. Yes, by the way, yes, I think this position is well known. And here bishop f1. E5 is also possible, but E5 is very straightforward. Let's say d takes c, you go knight e5, and here white is choosing between this knight d4. I think here after knight d4, black is having d takes c. Yes, knight f5, queen e6, knight d6, rook d6. So this is possible line, and here just if you don't play, if you go bishop b4, I think here a3 is always working. And then bishop a3, I can take, yes, and then rook a1, rook a7, or rook a1, c takes d, and rook a7. Okay, this, c takes d, e takes d. Maybe another move can be knight takes d5. And now d takes c. If you capture with the piece, then white has some control over d4. And now knight e2. With the idea is to get the knight on g3, a6. I guess to stop knight g3, g6, bishop b5. And now queen c1. Very deep. With the idea is to go queen a1 or to go rook e2, rook c2. Bishop b8, rook e2. And he knew these ideas. And now rook c2. Of course, this idea does not win the game, but possible idea. Okay, bishop d3, now c5, takes rook c1, queen e7, knight b5, bishop b8, queen c2, a6, knight c3, rook e8, bishop f5. Yes, bishop d6 back, maybe g6. Yes, black went c4, and here computer does not like white's move, knight a4. Yes, black is ready to go b5, you go a4, you stop. Yes, this is very typical. So it was this, but no doubts Mohammad Fahati prepared something, knight a4, b5, knight c5. And if you take, I take d takes c, and I'm opening my bishops. Hello, hello. So bishop c6, rook d1, bishop d6, b4, a5, a3, g6, and now knight e4. So black does not have any time, but black makes and plays all the best moves. f5, and then rook a7, doubling the rooks along a file. Queen g7, and then a takes b, rook a1, bishop c5. Yes, going after this pawn. Computer says queen f8. What do I prepare? Queen a8? Why not before? I guess before maybe some, no, but tactical ideas aren't, why not before? Queen b1. Ah, queen b1. You attack here, and then you surprisingly you go this, and then yeah, some complicated position. Okay, this bishop c3, knight e4, bishop b4, this queen b7, then knight e5. The best move is to go bishop d7, and now white is better already. Knight d3, bishop a3, c2, bishop c1, or queen b5, queen b4, knight c1, queen c6, h4, bishop c4, just bishop d3. And again, black is not losing yet. Queen c4 takes knight d2, and bishop a4. Knight b1 is the strongest. It was this. Again, knight b1 is the strongest. Oh, it's so winning. You take and you go g4 or what? You take, you go g4, you go king d2. Ah, but Fahad did not have much time. He played bishop c4. No, bishop d5, if takes 93, knight c2. Yes, and here players agreed in a draw. Okay. Yes, very interesting tournament. Most of the players are very young and some interesting opening ideas. Yes. Yes, today I checked first two rounds, and yes, now we also checked some of the games. Yes, let's wish all the best to the participants. Let me also have some food. Hello, hello. Interesting position. Hi. You have GM? Yes, I have GM. Okay, let's play some games. Oh, Kulichik. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What should I do? B6 maybe? Or C5? Let's go C5. Yes, let's take bishop. Let's go knight C6. Yes, I have ideas to go knight H5. I have ideas to go knight E4, bishop B4 maybe. Always we can consider going D4. He takes D, knight D4. Yes, bishop E2, of course he goes. He knows. Okay, let's try knight E4 maybe. So my idea, if you take knight E4, then D takes C. Okay, but no. Knight C3, B takes C. Let's take knight G3. So if D4, he will play knight E4. Let's try D4, why not? Okay, but what if we try this? Yes, takes. And now knight D4, I guess. Or C takes D. Maybe C takes D or knight D4, knight D4. Okay, let's say knight D4. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is the right way to play, but okay, let's try anyway. Maybe we can take with the queen and then try some. Yes, very interesting. It should be 7. Okay, g4, h6, I guess. Maybe queen d4 at some point. Yes, here we don't have any problems. Let's say we take this pawn also. We go rook b4. We go, let's say, rook b2. This is, I guess, very unpleasant. This should be very unpleasant. Wow. Yes, I did not expect to win this game. Okay, knight f3, d5, e6, bishop d6. Because why engine is not... This, c4. Bishop b4, I played this. Now bishop b4 takes... I played this. Ah, c takes d is working. I could take d takes c. This is unpleasant. Yes, knight d4. Yes, knight takes d4, of course, rook b1. e5, knight e5, bishop f5. Or bishop e4, I could go f3. Yes, here it would have been better to go rook a2, because I allowed him to go rook on fourth and then a4. Oh, but this position is also not winning. Ah, it is already very bad. Still not winning. Okay. Maybe another game? What? Wait, let's read. Are you playing viewers? Can I play couple please with you? Asking you. Hello. You higher rated than me? Hey Sam, you have any tips? Yes, don't waste your time. Try to be try to play focused, concentrated. Don't pay any attention whom you are playing. It is much more important uh, how you play your moves. Which moves are you making? No one. Okay, dear friends, please subscribe to my Twitch account, uh, Twitch channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Appreciate very much your attention and your support. Yes, I think this is all so far for today. See you upcoming days.